Hi guys, it's Miss Mattingly. I wanted to do a little webinar with you guys about getting a visa because I know there's a lot of questions and I want to make sure we have all the appropriate documentation to make this process go smoothly, because the longer we wait, the more expensive it becomes. They have a service that you can even turn around a visa in 4 days, but it's going to cost a lot of money. So let's go ahead and make sure we take care of it right away. So the first thing you're going to do is go to visacentral.com. There's a link to it through the Explorica account, but it's just easier if you go to visacentral.com. And then you're going to select Beijing, Shanghai, and Shanghai, and then click your state of residence as Texas and continue. If you are ready to actually start your order and pay for it, you can click here and have them email you the application kit. But if you are concerned about paying for it or want to kind of prolong that experience, you need to just make sure you have all the things ready. So, all right. So again, this urges you to submit your visa application no earlier than 30 days prior to your date of China. So more than 30 days in advance. So again, we need to just make sure we have all those documents ready to go, okay? So here's the deal. Things you need: a passport, okay? You need your passport and it needs to be signed. The next thing is a photograph, and then there are these very specific things. Let's see if it tells you. The Chinese consulate requires a photograph that meets very strict requirements, and I'll actually show you in the application what it looks like, but it needs to be with an all-white background and so forth, and I'll tell you, I took mine, and it's not cute, but it is what it is, okay? The letter of invitation is actually this document that I emailed to you all. So this document has our hotels and all of that good stuff, that information that we will need. So make sure you have this. I'll attach it to this email with the link to this video as well, just in case you need it one more time. And I'll have these printed out so we can include them in our visa as well. Okay, so that's that. So that's the letter of invitation. The order form and the application and all of that stuff is actually in the kit, which I'll show you in a second. Some of those other things don't apply to us. We're not traveling to Hong Kong or Macau. We are not born in Chinese territory, but you are under 18. So one of the things that you will need is this letter, and there's a link to it, and I will also include this because this one is can be edited for you. So basically you'll put the date, your family, both parents' names, authorize your name to travel on a trip to China. And then she will be traveling on Delta Airlines, departing the United States on flight 189, and will return to the United States on June 30th, 2017. And then your parent will print their name, sign it, and you have to get it notarized. So notaries typically are at every bank. There are some libraries that do it. If you need help finding a notary, I can help you find one. So this letter is basically telling the Chinese government and the U.S. government that you are allowed to travel to China without your parents. So knowing that you are going without your guardian, this is really important. Basically, we're trying to say that I am not kidnapping you to China, that you are traveling with your parents' permission. Think of this as a permission slip, and that way it kind of doesn't feel as crazy. It's just a permission slip, okay? And it just has to be official so that you don't forge it or anything like that. So that's really where the notary comes in. It's this idea that they have to make sure it's an official situation. All right, so then that's that. Under 18, proof of state residency. So we're not a cruise passenger, so we can skip that one. Proof of state residency, if you have a copy of your Texas ID or driver's license or anything like that that proves your state of residency. I am not totally sure what else. A utility bill, right, if you don't have any of those things. So I would definitely call Visa Central to know what would count if you don't have those things. We know we're not previous China visit, et cetera, et cetera. We're not a government employee. So the U.S. Embassy registration we can do if you would like. And then the document preparation service is another additional choice if you would like for Visa Central to basically prepare your documents for you. Okay, So what does this application actually look like? So it's just a lot of steps. There's nothing too crazy. So it looks like this. Documents to provide, right? And it gives you, we're here every step of the way, right? Et cetera, et cetera. So if you are struggling, you can always call the phone number, which I do recommend, all that good stuff, okay? So then hotel reservations, we know that. So let's go down a page here. So it's 21 pages. Again, that same information about what documents you need. The letter of invitation, we do have that from Explorica, so that's good news. Proof of state residency, again, because many of you may not have these things, I really think calling and asking, what would count, if a report card or something else from school would count. Number 18, okay, the parents of the minor must provide a copy of each parent's U.S. passport. If the parents are not U.S. citizens, they must provide a copy of their U.S. status. If the parents are not accompanying the minor, again, that's that letter. And your parent must sign and complete sections 4 and 5 of the actual application. Okay, both parents must supply a copy of a current driver's license. So again, if you're like, well, my family doesn't have that, or how do I prove that? This would be that time that you would get on the phone and call, because each individual is different. We want to make sure we're providing the correct documentation. Okay, you must also provide a copy of your birth certificate. So if you need to make a copy of that to send along. Again, we're not doing any of that. Yep. So none of that applies to us. We're not government employees. So let's go down another page. Urgent applications, again, that would be like within 10 days. We're not procrastinating that much, so we're okay. So here's the snapping a photo. You do want it to be digital, so that way you can upload it and they can make sure it's the right size and all of that stuff. And it's really just like clicking here and attaching your photo. Here's what I want to show you, the acceptable photos, because the first photo I submitted was rejected because it did have a shadow. It wasn't as extreme as this one, but apparently it was good enough. Kind of like this one, more where it was like grayed out a little bit with a shadow. So here's the thing, right? You can see the ones that have been accepted. It's facing the camera with your head straight. You have to have a neutral, no smile, no frown. Has to be a recent photo, obviously. Taking it against a white background, wearing non-white clothing, no background lights or shadows. So that's the really tough part, was the no background lights or shadows, to be honest with you. Glasses, jewelry, and head covering. So if you wear glasses, don't wear them. No jewelry. Head coverings only for religious purposes, etc., etc. So you do want to submit the this file as its actual size, and if you need help taking a picture, or I know at like Walgreens and whatever, they have that plain white background, so you can always go in there and see if you can use that, but you can take it on a phone or other camera and it still works. Okay. But they give you all the examples of what doesn't work. Obviously not this one. Hello, that's crazy. But these are ones that have been approved. Even though that child is smiling, I don't understand how that's approved. Anyway, but they will email you back if it's not approved. So the other cool thing is they give you this nice checklist, right? So we know exactly what to do. And then it'll also give you below, I'm not going to show this on the video, but just it gives you that shipping label. So it's ready to go and ready to be shipped. Right there. Okay. You can also add on a document preparation service. Again, if you're nervous about this and like worried about it, you can add on. It is an additional cost, but it would be something that would make sure all your stuff is ready to go and done correctly. So then, okay, so then the actual application is just a form. So it gives you all the information about, you just kind of fill it in. So it's just a form. That's all it is. So you fill that out and then submit it. Let me keep going. Again, forms. They are you can type them in, so it's no big deal. Just you can register with the embassy if you choose. Processing information, pricing, etc., right? This is why we don't want to have to do rush, right? Because that price goes from $89 to $139. And I do want to remind you that Mr. Neal has said that he will provide scholarships or reimbursement, basically. So if you purchase this, he will, provide you with that scholarship of about $200 to help cover this visa fee. But what he's requiring is a video explaining in both Mandarin and English what you hope to get out of the trip. So far, I've only received one of those, so make sure we get on that. And so that's about it. The filling out forms part is no big deal. It's really just collecting and making sure you have all that documentation ready to go. If you have situation-specific questions, you need to reach out to Visa Central directly. So reach out to their customer service department. Let me see if I can go back to the first page, I think is where the numbers are. Let's see. We're here to help every step of the way. Contact us, right? So here. So, that's for we already know that part. Thanks, bear with me. Where is there things? All right, so have questions. We understand the visa process can be overwhelming. We are here to help. You can call this phone number or email them, and that will really help you understand what exactly you need if there's a situational specific question. So especially if you're under 18 and you don't have an ID or you don't have those things, they're going to be able to answer the question on what documentation you will need to get approved. They can also help you with pictures, etc., etc. If you just want a time and a space to work on this application, that's something I can definitely help you with. So if you do have those type of questions or need that kind of support, I'm happy to do it. But I am in no way an expert on visas, so they are. So definitely reach out to them if you have questions about the process. Thanks for listening, and I'll hopefully see you guys